Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. Each week, we talk openly and honestly about the hard things in life together with you. So join us and some of our dearest friends and greatest heroes to talk about anxiety, boundaries, parenting, infidelity, our bodies, loving and losing, all of the things that make us human. Listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room is in progress.
I went to pee, put my two kiddos in the room with the door open and the gate up. Also had the bathroom door open. I come out to find a dozen eggs cracked on the kitchen floor and my youngest covered in peanut butter naked. Our question, I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened, 206-421-ROCK.
One quick comment here. We were talking about your spider bite earlier.
Yeah.
And we all started making fun of you screaming. So it says, all the boys, I'm working on a tile roof, cleaning it. Now, I have you guys on a Bluetooth speaker. All of you start screaming about Miles' spider bite. 4 different neighbors ran outside thinking I fell off the roof. Oh, no. Thanks for the laugh, Miles. I fell off the roof. Call 911. Let us know if anyone calls 911 for it.
Maybe they care.
Hello, Lauren. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
Okay, so I was finishing up band practice. We all decided to go to dinner, Everett on Broadway. And I was standing outside, me and the guitar player, waiting for the other guys to show up outside the restaurant. And we're looking down the road see if we recognize their cars. Then I see a guy walking out of the shadows towards me on the sidewalk, same side of the street, across the street. And I was waiting to see if he might be one of the guys. Be right there. And he got about 50, 75 feet away, and I realized that's not him. So I turned away, and I'm starting to look for their car again. And I turned around and looked, and he was attacking. He was coming right at me, fist flying. And I stepped back and blocked every single swing. He backed up, came at me again. I blocked him again. He stepped back, came at me one more time. I blocked him and put my foot right in his chest. And he turned around and walked down the street like nothing happened.
What the hell?
Yeah.
A couple people said that they thought I might have been a victim of one of these initiation deals where they used to, if you punched a guy out in one punch, you got points, and 2 punches.
I think he was delusional.
Yeah, I do too.
If he walked off, I'm thinking delusional.
I had a guy punch me at the bus stop one night, and I was just like...
Let me ask you for a cigarette.
Yeah, he's like, can I have a cigarette? I was like, yeah, man, you can have a cigarette. I gave him a cigarette. Bam! Hits me as hard as he can in the chest, and I was like, dude! And he's like, I'm on meth, man. I'm all jacked up. I was like...
Is that an excuse?
I was like, well, why the hell did you punch me, dude? Just chill out. He's like, I'm good, man. You're good. We're all good. We're good. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, hey, man. He's like, where's the hurricane? And I'm like, it's right there. Like, the sign on the building is 30 feet long. It's painted. It says the hurricane. We're literally standing right there. I'm like, it's right there. And he's like, cool, man, thanks. Walks off, walks in there. I'm like, this is not going to go well in there. Right. I don't know what's happening there, but this is not going to go well.
I like that you gave him a cigarette and he punched you.
Did you ever spend any time drinking at the Hurricane?
No, I did not.
It'll be fine.
The place will be fine. And that would not be out of the ordinary.
The place will be fine.
Right.
Yeah, I mean...
No one will leave a notice he's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, look, dude, years ago, I was walking home from Thurlsville Place in Belltown, and I'm walking up Denny. Same thing. He's a bigger dude, and he's all fired up. It's Sunday evening, like 9 o'clock. And he just stops us. You want to fight? No. Wussy.
All right. Well, I'll take it. I'll take wussy for 100.
Yeah.
I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
At least he was kind enough to ask. You said,
right,
no, I
Miles
don't.
just got punched.
Yeah, Miles
got punched.
for giving him the cigarette that he asked for.
That is the weirdest part of that story. Is that
You got a
gave
cigarette?
him.
Sure.
I know. I think everything was fine. Like, here you go, dude. Here's a cigarette.
Dude, somebody hit me up for a square.
Oh, old school.
Yeah, he was like, you got a square? I was like, I don't, but I respect you using it.
Hello, Zach. Welcome to the men's room.
Boo, bitches.
Boo.
All right. So, a little backstory. I'm working in Granite Falls at the time. I'm a material handler for a big fabricating welding shop. They do big I-beams for the pylons for new buildings down in Seattle there.
All right.
At the time, we had a garbage service, but the guys would go through a lot of spools of wire, and they're like really thick cardboard, almost like wood-like. And so the boss said, hey, we burn them. We have this little pit back here and have a little fire and whatever, burn the boxes, burn the spools, maybe some pallets that got broken or whatever. So I'm having a fire, and, I'm the material handler. I have to keep these beams loaded up for these guys in the shop to keep welding on them. And I walk away for a minute to go get the forklift. Swear, it was like, it must have been three minutes. And I come back, and the sticker bushes are on fire behind it. And there's no residential area, no residential houses or anything like that in the area for, I don't know, a quarter mile. So I ran, I get the hose. We only have a little garden hose. And I'm like trying to spray it, and it's spreading fast. It's like probably this time of the year and without any rain, 7 years ago. And so I go get the boss, and I'm like, hey, I'm spraying this fire down, but it's not going anywhere. He had called 911 to the fire department to come out, and they gave us a strong talking to and said, don't burn dimensional lumber. That was their main thing. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the rules against that.
What is dimensional lumber?
Yeah. So like 2x4s and 4x4s.
Ah, okay, all right.
I see.
So what? How big did the fire get before they managed to put it out?
Oh my God! It got to where I was getting scared because, like I said, there's nothing for like a quarter mile, but I think it must have gotten probably an eighth of a mile or less.
Jesus, man!
It just spread so fast. These sticker bushes were all dry, and nothing I could do to stop it.
That's got to be a bad feeling, man.
Those spools you speak of, we know them as the West Virginia coffee table. And when you move out, 18 years old, you don't have any furniture. So those spools,
they were great.
They were in people's trailers. I mean, their apartments. I mean, everybody.
It was our first coffee table.
Everybody had a spool for a coffee table. You could draw on it. You know what I mean? It didn't matter. You could put your cigarette out on it. It was fine. I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
They were cool.
They were
great. And, I would take one now. They're actually very, very convenient. They're the perfect size, right? Yeah. They're sturdy.
Kind of look Art Deco-ish.
I like this comment. It says, hey, guys, I was up in Dutch Harbor working this last winter where eagles are like pigeons. I'm eating a cheeseburger in my room. I see a fox outside my window. I open the window, throw a little piece of burger to it. Out of the blue, a bald eagle swooped down and snagged the burger out of my hand. I survived with a minor hand injury. I was lucky.
Crows steal food like that.
I mean, but he's inside, right, is the thing. That thing swooped in enough to grab his goddamn burger like, cool,
I'm out.
That's a setup, bro. The fox and the eagle are working together.
I read a whole article about the bald eagle being like the biggest problem and pest in Canada.
And Alaska, man.
Yeah, it's just like...
But see, in Canada, they can shoot them. It's not their national bird.
Oh, really?
It's a bald eagle. That's ours, right? So in Alaska, which has the same problems as Canada as far as these bald eagles go, especially the guys at the canneries and stuff, they're like, dude, they are a serious freaking problem. It's like having rats. Because these things, they know what we're doing. They know we have a collection of fish, and these things swoop down, and it's a nuisance, but they're like, we can't do anything. You can't even, like, swat at this goddamn thing.
They dumpster dive and grocery store parking lots and bins. And
they are.
How long until we give them a nickname?
What do you mean?
Well,
but it's the bald eagle, so you can't. You know what I mean?
All right,
you can call it the patriotic dumpster diver. I mean, it's just,
and that's what they say. They're out there not because they're dumpster diving as much as when people take their groceries to their car.
Yeah,
they're putting a bag in, they're going right after them, man. They're going after. They're like 3 or 4 of them are landing on the grocery cart and just start pulling stuff out and taking it with them.
Weren't they endangered for a while? Is there just that many of them now?
It seems like there's been in our lifetime. it was so rare to see a bald eagle. And
On the East Coast, you just don't see it.
But now they're there. You don't,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's like they're there now, and they weren't there necessarily. I don't think when I was maybe an occasional sighting.
We used to go to the zoo to see one.
Yeah, you really did. Because you would go to school, you heard about the bald eagle, obviously it's represented in all things America. But as a kid, it was like Bigfoot. Like, I knew this thing existed, but you just never saw one. And I think maybe I saw 2 in my life before we moved to the West Coast.
There was
Rather just every goddamn
caller like 14 years ago, 15 years ago that called us. We were wildlife something, whatever. They're in Alaska. They're at a lake. They've got the small dog.
Oh, yeah.
They turn around. They turn back. The dog is in the air, in the talons, flying off over the lake with an eagle.
Yeah.
Dog's gone.
Dog's gone.
I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Dylan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
How you boys doing today?
Doing great.
Awesome. Good to hear. So this happened probably about 5 years ago. My son was 2 years old, and so I have a little dog. It kind of looks like Steve Biggs' dog,
All right.
Lulu. And that dog just goes crazy when it has to go to the bathroom and just starts spinning and stuff. And so I'm giving my son a bath, and the dog's just annoying me, and I'm like, shoo, shoo. And so the dog leaves, and I took my son out of the bath, and I got him all dry, and he just he bolted out of the bathroom there, and so I'm kind of cleaning up just for a second, and I go out and I look, and he's got something in his hand, and I'm like, wait, what is that? And he's about to put it in his mouth, and I'm like, oh no. and my son had a big old dog turd in his hand, was about to eat it, and I just ran over there and I hit it so hard that it splattered up against the front door.
And your son started crying.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was bawling, and I'm like, dude, I just saved your ass.
See, that's when you have that moment as a parent. Like, you have the nerve to cry. I'm going to remind you about the time I saved you from eating a turd and you got upset at me.
I know, right? Yeah, I was like, you little ass, like, you don't even know what I saved you from.
And you have to explain to children, like, turds are not nature's crayons. All right? I mean, just because, don't pick it up and write on the wall with this, please. Do not eat this. It is a turd. It's supposed to be where it is. Just leave it alone.
I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Well, first of all, in Alaska, we do have a nickname for eagles.
What do you got?
Glorified buzzards.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know people in Alaska not fond of eagles. Freedom. Somebody here, by the way, says there were about 1,000 bald eagles back in 1980. Now there's over 300,000.
That explains
All right,
it.
that's right.
And
That
they're
was
all eating your trash.
That's got to be a logical explanation behind that.
Okay. So my story does not involve loss of life or limb or possible death, but it may be the most tragic story of all. And my brother asked me to house sit and watch the dog for the weekend, and him having a really nice entertainment center and whatnot, I said, sure. So that Friday I went to Double D Meats and got like a 1.3 pound ribeye.
Oh.
And went to the house and barbecued it up and sat down in the living room to watch some nice movie and eat my ribeye, and couldn't find the remote, and stood up and took no more than 3.5 to 4 long steps to hit the volume button, maybe 3 taps, and turned around, and the 90-pound chocolate lab named Posey had eaten my ribeye.
It was already gone?
It was cooked, and you had it on a plate, and you ate the whole thing?
She was like one of them, plate on the plate, cooked with, what did I have? Maybe corn on the cob that I'd put on the grill as well.
Was she?
And she had done like the bird thing where she had stuck her mouth up in the air and was just kind of swallowing that whole ribeye whole almost.
That's because she knew you did not want her to eat it.
That's a $30 steak.
Oh yeah, Double D's. Yeah. It was tragic.
What did you end up eating? What did you end up eating for dinner that night? Posey. Oh. I'd have said the dog.
Double D Meats is so good, I waited in line for half an hour just to get in the door.
Yeah.
That's how big the line was. I mean,
There's always a line. Even on a non-busy day, there's a line.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
I know Posey likes it.
That sucks. Didn't you have all those steaks that you...
We've been marinating these things from the night before to the point where when we walked into after work, we've been talking about the steaks all day, like even texting each other about it, right? This is where they're at now, they're room temperature, blah, blah, blah. They weren't cooked yet, but you opened the door to our place, man, and it smelled incredible. And I don't remember the exact cut of meat, but they were expensive as well. One of those things where we looked at each other and said, F it, man. You know, the kids don't want
it's fine.
Let's drop this cash and let's just eat well.
Like
Let's
you're going
cook
out
at home.
You're not going out to dinner.
Right. It was during the pandemic, man. So I'm like, you know, and it was, well, warmer than it is now, but a sunny day. We're going to grill these bad boys up. I cannot explain how good the house smelled when we walked in. And we walked in through the kitchen side. And the entire conversation on the way home from work was about the steaks and what we might have on the side, because this was our treat to us. And I walk in the house, and I smell the steaks. And normally when we show up at the house, I nicknamed the dog Shakira, because when the dog sees me through the door, she's just shaking her hips. She loses her mind, right? Because she's stunned that I'm home every day. Which leads me to believe maybe she hired a hitman and never expects to see me, but whatever. But she's not there. So that's a little odd. But I see from around the kitchen island, I can see her ass. I don't see the rest of her, and you just hear this. I'm still not thinking it's a steak. I turned the corner. Keep in mind, we had 3 of these bad boys. 2 of them were completely gone. The other one was half in her mouth. Oh. I was so pissed. And, I mean, it took everything not to, like, grab this dog by the neck and choke her out. But she knew, because she looked up at me, and the steak, like, slowly falls out of her mouth onto the floor, like perhaps I did not know she was eating. So I ended up throwing the rest of it out, and I think we ordered, like, Domino's or some crap that night. Like, Domino's is fine.
It is.
It's not what I wanted. We've been waiting all week for this, man. We talked about it.
Did the dog have any bathroom issues after that?
That's the other thing, and that's what I'm yelling at the dog about. I'm like, the biggest problem is, like, I don't know what this is going to do to you, but that's going to be my problem, too, if you get diarrhea. She was fine. No problem.
She had enjoyed a really nice steak.
Dude, she had probably the best steak that's ever been in my home.
I swear I just looked away for 1 second. Then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do 2 things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
99.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
Return of Who Sucks Less on the way after emails on our question. I swear I just looked away for 1 second. Then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
We're talking about your pets eating your food. Guy here says, my German Shepherd ate 1.5 pounds of raw bison in a matter of seconds. Was throwing the packaging away. And this one I like, because it's not a dog, it's a cat. So I tried to get the foil tent for the steak that's fresh from the grill, and the freaking cat steals the steak. It's so hot that the cat drops it every few feet. When I go to retrieve it, it growls at me. F cats. Mm-hmm. And that, of course, from a cat owner.
Don't mess with them, though.
No.
Or don't F with them.
Yeah, because they'll rip your face off. Hello, Will. Welcome to the men's room.
Will.
Caller.
Hello, Will.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
What's going on, guys?
Doing great, Will. How are you?
Doing good, man. You know.
Okay. Yeah, we know.
6 or 8 in, good. 6 or 8 in, some good sativa. What's got it going on? Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's actually go. Let's actually do it.
What happened, man? What's the story?
Okay. Sorry. I was pouring a drink. Okay, this is Sunday, 3 days ago. I don't know, 2 o'clock. I just come back from my bar where we draw for NASCAR drivers, 5 hours a person, best finish if they don't win. And before the doctors made me retire, one of my jobs was a cook. So I'm going to fry some chicken wings for the race. I put too many wings and too much oil. I turn away for 1 second to the sink, and there's flames that are up to the roof. And I knew better. I knew this from the start because I was a cook. You don't throw water on a grease fire.
Right.
I knew when the water hit the air, I was screwed. I'm like, uh-oh. And luckily I had my towel and a wet rag because I couldn't get to the baking soda or salt. And my yellow and white walls are now black. Got to replace that with some paint. But, yeah, just 1 second grease fire.
That is all it takes with the grease fire.
Yeah, and my stove is right there right next to the sink. So
Are you from Baltimore or Maryland by chance?
Yeah, I'm the Baltimore. Yeah, I'm from Baltimore. Where
You know how I knew?
Brooklyn. You ever heard of Brooklyn Park?
Yes, we've heard of Brooklyn Park.
Yeah. All right, Brooklyn's the city. And Brooklyn Park's the county line. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, we used to buy...
we had bumper stickers made up that said Brooklyn is not in New York.
I remember those. We used to buy drugs there.
Yeah, I don't remember you guys, but I used to listen to that station with Mark Lopez and sexy Sarah Fletcher. Remember her?
Sure. Yes, that was 98th Rock.
Yeah, she was hot. Yeah, I didn't know if I could say the numbers and the letters or Mark and Lopez. But you guys are like Mark and Lopez, but you're better.
Well, they're not on the air anymore. So that's
Are they not?
Well, Kirk does the afternoon stuff.
Right.
But they don't do the whole show together now.
Kirk, Mark, and Lopez. It actually was a very good show, but this guy Kirk, I'm pretty sure he was stoned 100% of the time. 100% of the time. I didn't say what drug. I'm saying, let me rephrase that.
He was hot. When you say stoned,
there were drugs actively in his system at any given point. Nice guy, man, but it's always like, are your eyes open? And are you okay?
He was at the club that night where when Vince Neil wouldn't let me into the office to be able to get paid. He was, of course, there. And I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Is there a D in the word Baltimore?
Not if you're if you are from Baltimore. If you're born and raised there, yes.
And it's Baldy. Hey, Mike, you Baldy, get out of here. It's like Baldy Mirror.
Baltimore.
Baldy Mirror.
But also, Mike, you got to keep in mind where he's talking about, right? My sister currently lives in Brooklyn Park. But I mean, you're talking, I don't even know. You're only a few miles from like downtown. But they have a different accent.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's all based on the chemical. Like, there's no kid born there that doesn't have, like, some kind of crazy birth defect. It is basically like living near that nuclear waste site in The Simpsons. Right. So everybody's screwed up.
Well, it depends. If you live in Dundalk, it's chromium poisoning. If you're from Brooklyn, where he is, it's mercury poisoning. And somehow that affects your accent. And I wish I was kidding, but honest to God, man, it's like, this one was a chromium plant. This one was mercury. And all the people that were born there there's something off. And then when you say, well, hey, man, you should know the water to the next is really, really polluted. You go, got it. Understood.
But you're not even talking about here to Everett. And I'm not talking anything
you can
bad
see Baltimore across the bridge.
Right, about Shoreline. But imagine just Shoreline having a completely different accent than the rest of Seattle.
What was the strip club there? Night Shift?
Night Shift.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, look, the strip clubs in Baltimore are kind of on the sketchier side of things as far as the talent is concerned. This place was a zoo. I mean, this place was just off the charts. Like, wow.
This is the place we took a group of guys.
I could be a dancer here.
They had
trust me.
Night Shift was probably the best.
Right.
That's sad. It's not a lot, but might give you an idea. We had the station we were at, what do they call it? Guys Night Out or some crap like
Guys Night Out.
So we bounced around like 3 or 4 different places. And on this particular occurrence, we're going to the Night Shift strip club in lovely Brooklyn. And I go outside to smoke a cigarette. And again, this is answers to today's question. Kind of like, what'd you miss? I'm in there the whole time. I go out to smoke a cigarette. In the time it takes me to smoke a cigarette, like 7 dudes, listeners that we brought with us, come storming out of there, and they are pissed. So I'm thinking there's a fight. I'm like, dude, what's going on? One of the dancers who's up there dancing, doing the thing, started spraying everyone with the breast milk.
I told you it's a high-class place. When I said it was a zoo, I meant it was a zoo. It's a zoo.
Yeah. It was, but I will say in their defense, it was BYOB, which I always loved.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can drive all around Baltimore and see everything. Then you go to Brooklyn and you go, wow.
This is...
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Wow. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, wow.
It's the worst of what Baltimore's all.
There's no auto mechanic. It's just duct tape.
Right.
I mean, there's no shop. It's just duct tape. You need it fixed, your car's got duct tape.
Yeah, if you go to the auto shop, there's bungee cords, duct tape.
And it's not like Brooklyn Park. He's right. Like, the county line is that much better.
No.
But there's, you know when you cross the line.
There's a distinct difference.
It's unbelievable. It's just, you get across that bridge and you're like, where am I? I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Eric. Welcome to the men's room.
Irish Death and Bourbon.
Hola!
Ooh, let's end the night.
No, that's my new favorite drink.
Yeah, for a very limited time.
Right.
Oh, it's actually pretty awesome. Instead of the Jameson and Guinness car bomb, Irish Death and Bourbon, and it'll get you going.
Oh,
Right. That's
no kidding.
Don't get me wrong. I like both those things. We're talking about almost an 8% beer and bourbon.
Hey, man, I don't know if you've done this cocaine, but you're going to be up for a while. We know.
So I looked away for a second, and something crazy happened. So I live in a split-level home, and I was taking groceries up to upstairs, and we normally have a little baby gate for our 2-year-old, and I left it open because I was going down to get another load, and he was in the bedroom, and I'm coming back up the first set of stairs from the garage, and I hear this thump, 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 and he hit, and he didn't just try to walk down the stairs. He grabbed his tricycle and tried to ride down.
Oh, no way. How did he do?
He had a few bumps and bruises, but he was okay. But I was like, wow, you're quite the daredevil.
You know what? Sometimes, depending on the age, that is not a learning experience. Right. You know what I mean? Like, even with injury.
Anymore.
Okay, well, thank God. But, I mean, sometimes it's like, he's going to do this again.
You hope they will.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I taught my daughter to go down the stairs, man. Again, around 2 years old, and it's like, do not walk down the stairs. Go down, doing that reverse crawl kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And we'd show her. And if we were looking, she would do it. But you could tell she was just sharp enough to know if the parents aren't looking, try whatever you want to try. So my wife had the baby gate up, and I said, look, I'm tired of having this conversation with her. Take the goddamn baby gate. Let her ass fall down the stairs. Only like 6 stairs, carpeted. And sure enough, within 15 seconds of turning my back, and she's all laid out at the bottom of the stairs crying. I just looked at her and said, now you know. She never did it again. Well, there we go, man. But that was my father's theory, and it's horrible, but he's right. He goes, look, man, he said, parents don't know anything. You just kind of make stuff up as you go along. He said, but I learned real quick that the quickest teacher in the world is pain. Yeah. So he's like, when I taught you guys to ride your bike, like, you will not wear a helmet or knee pads. You will ride the bike, and then you will crash, and then you will take my advice. I'm not going to tell you it's hot. You're going to go ahead and touch that. Like, that's what hot is. He's like, you guys learned real quick.
I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so this is about 15 years ago. I'm at baseball practice, right, and I'm warming up, playing long toss with one of my buddies, and I hear all this hollering on the infield over to my left, right? People trying to get my attention, whatever. So I throw the ball back to my buddy, and I put my hand up to him, and I turn and I look to all my friends on the infield, and it couldn't have been. It was, literally a second. I hear all this yelling from over where my buddy's standing, and I turn and I look back, and a baseball is in my mouth.
Oh no!
Square in the mouth, man. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. It almost knocked me out, right? So I stumble back, and I'm like, oh God, what the hell just happened, right? And just spitting blood everywhere. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. And so I go back, I run into the dugout, and my dad is like, he was the coach, right? And he's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, oh, I just got hit in the mouth. He's like, let me see. He's like, oh, it's not that bad, go get back out there in the field or whatever. And I'm like, not that bad. What are you? My front two teeth are loose. What are you talking about? And so, yeah, man, it was killer. My bottom teeth basically punched a hole straight through my bottom lip. It killed my front 2 teeth. I had to have like these temporary braces put on. Then they had to do 2 root canals on my front 2 teeth while they were still loose. And,
Jesus.
Oh God, it was just the most painful experience of my entire life.
Wouldn't it be better if people didn't yell and you got hit in the back of the head?
Well, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, if I hadn't turned and looked, it would have just smacked me like off in the side of the head or something. It wouldn't have been that bad. But
did you see
it was terrible. I couldn't eat anything, man, except for like yogurt and popsicles for like 2 weeks.
Did you see the guy? Was it last night? I guess took a 94-mile-an-hour fastball to the face.
Ooh,
yeah,
no,
I think it was 2 nights ago.
Was it 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, it was a fastball, 94 miles an hour, and the picture that they printed, you don't see the ball hitting him in the face, but they have the ball about an inch away from his face where he's just starting to squint his eyes.
Right. There was a 12, 13-year-old kid at the Mariners the other night got hit square right between the eyes.
Really?
He basically blacked both of his eyes out. Yeah, I mean, I saw a picture of him the next day. I was like, oh, God, that would be a bad day.
Do you remember the old lady? It was like 2 or 3 years ago. MLB game. Guy hits a foul, and she takes like a line drive straight off the noggin. Okay, I want to say this woman was 74 years old, so she's not in good shape. She's not dead, but she's not in good shape. Medical and the guy up the bat, he feels awful because the game is kind of slowed down, and it's the emergency personnel. They put her on a stretcher to take her out. So now the game starts up again. Next pitch, he slices this thing sideways again, and it hits her on the stretcher. Ooh. He hit her twice. She was in a different location at this point.
I've had this conversation most of the time when I was younger, but we used to have this conversation of which sport, if you play it, actually is the most painful sport to play. So we'd have all these different arguments going back and forth. Obviously, football is an incredibly painful sport based on the way that we used to practice, based on the way we played. You felt like
you're expecting the pain.
You're expecting the pain.
Like boxing, you're expecting the pain.
Exactly.
Baseball,
and that was one of those we would
not.
argue. Baseball, we ended up putting up higher on the percentage list than you think. Hockey, we had some theories on it. Look, you can get hit by a puck, right? Mm-hmm. But in baseball, you don't have shoulder pads on. You don't have a chest protector on. You don't have pads. So in baseball, if you take a line drive to the head, if you take any of that stuff, like if you're in the field, you're not wearing a batter's helmet.
Right.
So if you take a hot shot on third, there's a chance for some serious pain. You get beamed. When you get beamed, it's in the middle. It's always in the lower part of your back. It's like,
taking a kidney shot.
It's like taking a kidney shot. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you box, you know what you're getting into.
But you're prepared again.
But again, if you're an amateur fighter, you have headgear on.
Mm-hmm.
So we weighed all these different things. Like, you're going to get hit in the head, but what sport is really just the one?
But think about it like
that hurts.
If boxers or MMA, any of it, if they hit each other as hard as a fastball to the face, the sport would be illegal. If every punch you threw is equivalent of a fastball in baseball, we can't do this, right? So to me, I agree with baseball. You're probably less likely to get hurt.
Exactly.
But if you do get hurt,
it's bad.
It's a lot of hurt.
It's bad.
And bike racing. When you watch those guys, when they have those one guy crashes, these guys are riding like 40 miles an hour, right? And you're in shorts. So you're already getting your road rash, but then everyone behind you crashes as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's a wimpy game, but we always came to the same conclusion. Basketball is the safest sport to play if you don't want to experience pain, although it seems to be...
It hurts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like one of the most physically, it's just, it takes its toll on your body.
Basketball is like ankles, muscle pulls.
Right. And maybe an elbow in the face.
Right, but you're right, like... I've played a lot of sports, but I remember once playing first base and the idiot in right field threw the ball to the wrong cutoff. It hit me square in the back, right? Like there's no play at third or at home. Like what?
Right.
Sorry, I know
you're trying to go down the other road.
Right, but I mean, and you're right. I mean, that welt was like days where you could see the strings.
And it hurts. Like
idiot.
Man, if you catch a baseball game, and that was my buddy's argument. He was a catcher. He was like, man, it's every single night, man. It's practice. It's games. Like, I'm taking balls off the knee. The pads were okay, but they weren't.
That was one night in college.
They weren't nearly as good as they needed to be to take foul balls off your chest, foul balls off your shoulder.
No.
Even if you hit one in the mask, your head's ringing. Like, basically what the deduction was, we moved baseball up a lot farther up of the chain than we ever thought we would.
If you get hit with a baseball traveling at velocity, it's like, this game sucks. Right. I mean, you're mad. By the way, this guy says the kid who got hit at the Mariners game, it was my son.
Oh, no. Is he okay?
He says he's doing good, and the Mariners are being real good to him.
Obviously.
So that
just sucks. You go to the baseball game, and next thing you know, you take a foul ball to the face.
What are the perks the Mariners are giving you? Because I might use my kid as a human shield.
Dad, did you take...
I'm just saying,
Dad,
I'll hold him up, let him take the hit. Next thing you know, I got sweet tickets.
Dad, did you take your eye off the game for a second and not see that foul ball coming?
That's a decent question, Montgomery.
I'm just saying, I mean, maybe you're on your phone. I don't know what happened, but I mean, if my kid's sitting beside me, I see the ball coming, I'm going to try to make a play, right?
You know what? We can watch the replay. And if we see you are looking down at your phone, like,
come on, Dad,
good time at the game. Oh, God.
Maybe there was multiple kids.
Okay, you got to text us back, Dad. We got to find out what happened. And was he holding any food when it happened?
And look, you're just telling us, so we will not share with your wife what you were doing. If it's like, man, I was sipping my last beer, high-fiving the guy behind me, whatever. It doesn't matter. Not judging.
How old was the kid?
I don't know. I don't know. Like 12, 13 years old, maybe.
So he's...
Either way, like one eye was almost swollen shut. The other one was kind of temporarily swollen shut. I just looked at him like, I've been there. I took a Frisbee to the bridge of the nose and a big old whammo frisbee, like the kind that glows in the dark.
Right.
Like one of those. I didn't see it coming, man.
It glows in the dark.
No, I looked straight ahead. And the thing was so flat, some reason it just wasn't in my sight line, if that makes any sense. I did not see it. And before that I knew it, boom! And I mean, it broke my nose, blackened both of my eyes. This was a big, man, those things were heavy. This is not like Frisbee golf. This is a big ass whammo Frisbee to the face. And I mean, it was terrible. I couldn't see for like a week. I was all like
from a Frisbee.
Oh my God.
Did you at least lie to people and say you were in a fight?
No.
I would not say it's a Frisbee.
No, it freaking happened in a church parking lot. Throwing Frisbee.
People saw it.
People saw. They knew it happened. Because I went down and it was like, ooh.
And I went down.
He put another Frisbee inside the Frisbee, so it was a double Frisbee.
Right.
One of the smaller ones was there. Because we were trying to catch two at the same time. So when he launched it, they didn't separate. So I'm looking for two. I don't see anything. Go, boom! I was like, and I was just down.
How old were you?
12, 13.
That's about the right age.
Yeah, good times. I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Shelley. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Yeah, so my story was when I was pregnant. I was about 7-8 months pregnant, and all day I had one of those cravings. And for a pregnant woman, when you get a craving, it is pretty much do or die.
No, I understood that. If my wife had told me that she wanted to eat human, then that's what we would have eaten that night.
Absolutely, or you would have been in big trouble.
And she would have eaten me, right, yeah.
Exactly. But so I got home, I made up my 4 chicken legs. I was craving it. Oh, my God, it was great. I sat down. I was about to take a bite, and my daughter flips in my stomach, so I have to go to the restroom right now. So I run upstairs, and I come back down, and my Molly dog, who's a Labrador mix, like bird dog kind of, had one of my chicken legs in her mouth. I freaked out, total emotional psycho lady, freaked out, Molly! And I wrestle my dog, get my chicken, and I still eat it.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. It's my damn chicken leg.
Oh my God! It was horrible. I was crying. It was the most ridiculous thing ever.
So, how much was it? Just the one chicken leg that the dog had gotten a hold of?
Yes, because I was fast. I knew my dog, but if I didn't go, I was going to have a huge mess.
But again, so
there was no time.
You wouldn't be happy with just the other 3 chicken legs. You're like, no, I'm eating that one too. Mm-hmm.
It has to be 4. I had to be completely satiated. Like I said, it was completely it was crazy behavior, but I can't, if I don't have it, I'm going to freak out.
But here's the thing. This is what's crazy. So you're carrying a child inside of you, and you've reverted back to these animalistic instincts where you have torn chicken from a dog's mouth and then eaten it, and then you realize, if this kid in my belly, if I ever saw him do that, like, you would admonish him. Like, did you just eat that thing in the dog's mouth?
You forget how good chicken legs are.
Don't be like mommy.
Chicken legs are good, man. Remember that meat Ted Peg tasses on? I took the chicken legs home and just made them the other night. They're fantastic. They're really good. Thanks.
Meat was great.
Yeah, it was really
Ted's tax meat.
I swear I just looked away for 1 second, then blank happened. You are listening to the men's room.